Hi guys, it's Professor Fernandez again from the English department at Lone Star College Kingwood, and I'm here to put all of this new knowledge that you've gained together. A detailed outline. It's the money video. You guys ready? Let's get started. So what we've learned so far is that an outline, whether it's detailed or not, is a roadmap to what we have to do. The beginning of the essay all the way to the end of the essay. It tells us whether we have the goods, i.e. enough research. It tells us if we have time to write a paragraph or not. So time management, it helps out with that. It also helps us understand the thesis and how the thesis is part of the structure of the outline in the paper. It also allows us to go to our professor or go to the writing lab and get some feedback on the structure before, I'm so sorry guys, hi, before we start writing one word. Because what you don't want to do is spend a lot of time on a section of the paper and you really didn't need to. So that's what we know. We also know that there's a hierarchy of ideas within an outline, just like here, right? And those hierarchies of ideas tell us where things go. It doesn't necessarily have to have a bunch of Roman numerals and letters. You can use dashes, you can use little bullet points, whatever you can want to use, it's fine. The important part is that you have a hierarchy of ideas going in your outline. Okay, so I have given us an assignment. And we're going to read this assignment and we're going to take it from my assignment to idea to detailed outline, and we'll see how we did. Okay, so our assignment, write a 3 to 5 page research paper in MLA format discussing what is the best candy in the world and why. I know I keep disappearing. I apologize. I have no idea what's going on with the lights, guys. All right, so this is our assignment. Best assignment ever. I should probably assign this. This is really cool. All right, so this is a really cool paper. There's a couple of things we need to ask though, okay? So we have a 3 to 5 page researched paper. That means that you're gonna have a works cited. Oh my gosh. Again, we're not doing MLA in this video, in these series of videos, but it's coming, all right? So we have a researched paper, which means you'll have a works cited, which means you need to ask, how many sources? How many sources? The types of sources. Primary, secondary. Can we use newspapers? Do we use the databases? Can we use Google? Can we use Google Scholar? Those are great questions to ask. You also want to know about this. It says 3 to 5 page research paper, and you know you're going to have a works cited page. So does that mean, ladies and gentlemen, that it's two pages plus the works cited because it goes on a separate sheet? Or does it mean that it's 3 pages plus the works cited page, which means there's 4 pages? Let me repeat that again. It's either going to be 2 pages plus works cited, or it's going to be 3 pages plus works cited. Which one is it? Because the directions don't say it. So you need to ask your professor what they mean. Do not assume anything. The more questions you ask, the better off you're going to be, just in general. So ask these questions. All right. So we know that's supposed to be an MLA format, so we know that we're going to have a heading and we're going to have our last name in the corner, on the top right corner with the page number. We know we're going to have that. It's going to be double spaced, 12-point font, Times New Roman. You are going to indent the paragraphs, please. Do not give your professor a block of text. Do you want to hear the wind howl? Give a block of text to your professor and step outside. And that howl where there was no air before, and now there's a howling wind, that's your professor opening up your paper and seeing there's no indentations. Okay, so we know that, and we know because it's a research paper that we're also going to have in-text citations. i.e., parenthetical documentation. That's an old school way of saying that, but in-text citation is the new school way. Okay, so this is our assignment. We know all this. All this is telling us what we need to do. And we also know that we got to ask some questions. So we ask the questions and we know that it's this. More than likely it's 3 pages minimum, 5 pages maximum. Works cited is on a separate page. All right? So we know it's this. We know it's probably going to be 3 to 5 sources, and it's going to be just in the database. You can't go anywhere else but the database, which means we're going to have to visit the library or the Learning Commons. We're going to have to visit the Learning Commons to help us work through the database, right? We know that we're indenting paragraphs, so we probably need to set up our paper that way, and we're going to have in-text citations, which means we're going to do research, right? So we have all this. Wonderful. Why is this important to do even though we're learning about detailed outlines? Because some of this information is going to be in your detailed outline, okay? And it's going to help you. So we're doing the research, click, clack, clack. We have all this stuff, and we do the research in the way that we learn to do the research. Some of my students learned how to use the note card system. Some of my students learned how to do memos. Some of my students just cut and paste. Cutting and paste is a really, really easy way to plagiarize, guys. Email me and I'll talk you through how to put together the research, okay? So, all this wonderful stuff is here. Now, let's look at what we know. We're gonna write the thesis when we are at a place of our research or in a place of our thinking or in a place of our analysis. For my 1302 who are doing analysis pieces, we're in a place of our analysis or our research where we know some things. We're not gonna do it at the beginning of our research, and we're not gonna wait till all the way in the end, right? Because again, it's a working thesis and it can change. So what we're gonna do is when we feel like, all right, I know some things, I'm getting an argument here, I'm understanding what I wanna say, then we write the thesis, okay? So you start your detailed outline always with the intro with a thesis. I like to use Roman numerals because that's how I learned to do mine. Again, you can use whatever you would like. So I have an intro with a thesis, and I decided I'm going to start and introduce this with a question, right? Now, I have a rule about questions, starting papers with a question. You get 1 a semester. 1. You can't use it for every paper. Ask your professor if they have the same rule. But for my class, you get 1, right? Make it good. So I'm going to start with a question. Did you know that candy wasn't always made to be sweet, right? This is coming from my research. I researched this. I know about candy. Candy is my thing, man. I've been researching this. And so I know that I'm going to start with this question. Okay, great. So then what's going to happen now is that I'm going to expand that thought. I don't quite know how I'm going to expand this thought yet because I'm not writing this intro quite yet. So I'm going to put 2 bullet points here to remind me to expand this thought. It may be 3, it may be 5, but this is just to remind me, hey, I'm not going to have 2 sentences in this intro. I'm actually going to make it a robust intro, okay? Then B, see the hierarchy of ideas here? The big idea here was the lead-in. The second idea here is the thesis. You always want to put your thesis towards the end of your intro paragraph. If you're in my class specifically, I like the thesis sentence as the absolute last sentence in your intro. It could be the second to the last sentence or the last sentence. I prefer the last sentence personally because I'm literally going to open up your essay and I'm just going to look to see if you have a thesis. And if there's no thesis there, then you have no paper. So, thesis, end of intro. For those who don't have me, you may want to ask your professor what their preference is. All right? So here it is. Starbursts are the best candies in the world because they are juicy, delicious, and come in many flavors. Now, remember I said claim plus evidence, right? Here's the claim. Starbursts are the best candies in the world. I guess what does the saying goes? Go debate with your mama, because you're not debating with me. Go debate with your mama. Starbursts are the best, right? Anybody can say, no, it's Kit Kats, and no, it's M&Ms, and no, it's something else, right? This is a claim. Remember, a claim is argumentative. I'm not stating, it's not a statement of fact, I'm arguing something, right? So, Starbursts are the best in the world. In the world. Not in the USA, not in Houston, in the world, right? So this is my claim. Now, I have three pieces of evidence. Three pieces of evidence here that says they're the best in the world. They're juicy, delicious, and come in many flavors. 1, 2, 3. Why is this important? Because this is going to give you the structure for the rest of your paper. Okay? Yes, I'm talking about the basic 5-paragraph structure. Now, I'm showing you the 5-paragraph structure because it's very basic, very easy to follow. However, you want to check with your professor to see if there's something different. For example, I give my students the actual outline of what I want it to look like, right? Or I give them options. It could look like this, or it could look like this. Some professors don't give any outline. Some professors don't give any outline. There you go. Okay. Some professors don't give any outlines at all and just say, do your best, right? I just want a paper. Just give me a paper, right? So if you don't know what the structure is going to be, a 5-paragraph structure is a good structure to lean on because you can always expand it or you can always shrink it. More likely expand it. You could have an additional evidence here. You could make each of these a little bit longer. So I like a 5-paragraph for the way you can maneuver around it. Just depends on the assignment and depends on the professor, okay? So you've got to ask that question. So we have 3 things, and I'm going to say this is paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3, all right? Why is it 1, 2, 3? Because you've listed them in this order. Let's say I listed delicious, juicy, and comes in many flavors. That means delicious would be the first body paragraph I talk about, and juicy would be the second body paragraph I talk about, okay? Remember when I said that a thesis is a promise to the reader about what you're going to talk about, and the order you're going to talk about it. This is what I mean. I'm going to talk about Starburst being awesome, but I'm going to talk about it in this order, and this is a promise I'm making to you as a reader. I'm going to do this, okay? So this gives you the structure, right? So you know that the second thing is called a body paragraph. What a body paragraph is, it's just like an actual paragraph. It's not the intro or the conclusion. It's just one of the paragraphs in the essay, right? It is body paragraph number 1. You're going to talk about how they're juicy. And here, the hierarchy of ideas here is that you're going to have a topic sentence. And when a topic sentence is, all it is the topic of the paragraph. It's a sentence that gives you the topic of the paragraph. That's it. Okay? I'm throwing lots of words out at you. They're not complicated. Okay? All right. So the topic sentence of this body paragraph, I'm going to talk about juicy, right? And I'm going to say something along the lines of the juiciness. It's a word, right? Of Starburst. Cannot be compared to any other candy on the market. That's the topic sentence. That's the first sentence of my body paragraph. Look at that. I've written part of my essay. Wow. Okay, right? So we have this hierarchy of ideas. And so I know that this number right here is going to be a detailed sentence. And what a detailed sentence is that I'm going to add some more details. Maybe expand this thought here a little bit. Okay? That's what it's going to do. I'm going to add this detailed sentence. Maybe it's something along the lines of, when children think about their childhood and they think about their favorite candy, every time they think about Starburst, their mouth almost waters, right? That's a detail to this sentence. See how that works? Then, and I'm going to go up here so we can see some things here. In fact, I'm going to erase some of this. Hopefully, it'll come off and we can keep going here. So then what's happening under there, right? You have a detailed sentence. It's a supporting sentence. Now, a supporting sentence supports the detailed sentence. That's all it does, right? I.e., this is where your evidence goes. So I'm going to bring this back up here. So what if I say something in the supporting sentence, and I'm looking at my notes of all the research, and I'm saying, according to researchers at, Candyland, USA, juiciness is the key factor to being named a great candy. All right? Maybe this is what I have in my research. Look at that. Researchers. Right? Look at that. This comes from my research automatically. And so maybe I have this is in like a magazine or something, and I'm putting like the page number here, right? Page number, or maybe the writer. Right? Again, this is not the MLA video. That comes later. But look, I already have a citation here. I needed what, 3 to 5 citations? Number 1. Look at that, number 1. Hey! And so maybe we're expanding this thought, right? We're expanding this idea. Keeps going on me, I'm so sorry. We're expanding this idea here, right? And so we have maybe, I here. And it's expanding that idea. And then maybe we have another supporting detail, still about juiciness. We put it here. And maybe we have another point here, right? And we keep going until we're done. And how do we know that we're done? We know that we're done when we look at this paragraph and we're saying, that's all I have to say about juiciness. I have no more research. I said what I said. I did not stutter. I'm dropping the mic and I'm walking away. Right? So this is how we know. And then we see by what we're looking at what we're seeing, and we're thinking, maybe we don't have a B here. Maybe this is all in A. Maybe we just need one topic sentence. We don't need a transition. This would be a transition sentence, by the way, because you already have a topic sentence. This would transition to another section of juiciness. That's funny. Another section of juiciness. But maybe we don't have this. So we make a decision. Do we go and find this? Or are we good with just one? You make that decision depending on the assignment, depending on what you have and what you got guys got going on, right? Can make that decision for you. Or maybe you go to the writing lab in the Learning Commons and they help you out, right? So do you see here, we've started writing a paper. Yeah, we've started writing a whole paper based on this assignment. And so when you're ready to write, you can look at things and say, you know what, that body paragraph number 1 about juiciness, I have most of that ready. I'm gonna write that first. What, you're not writing the intro first? You don't have to write the intro first. You can actually piecemeal it together. And maybe you go back to it and you're like, oh, okay, I finished writing the body paragraph 1. I'm gonna write the intro. I think I'm good. You write the intro. And slowly but surely, a paper appears. Isn't that fun? Okay, so this is what a detailed outline can do for you. I hope this helped. I hope that you are ready to do your detailed outlines. Cannot wait to see them if you're one of my students, and cannot wait for your for your professors to see yours if you're not in my class. So let me go ahead and finish off this video before I get turned off, my lights get turned off again. Have fun, guys. Bye.